right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A 16-year-old hockey player dies days after a highway shooting.
We can all come together and support for Colin and his family.
Tonight, those closest to him and the St. Louis hockey community remember Colin Brown.
As we continue to track this wide area of rain out of our area completely, it's not the next couple of days that may be the issue, although it will be colder. It's the snow. We'll time that out for your holiday weekend plans ahead.
Punching out and ringing in the holiday.
It's fantastic.
The Thanksgiving tradition honoring our first responders.
First tonight, the rain is finally moving out. Now much colder air is moving in. We might even see some snow over the long Thanksgiving weekend. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush. Kelly Jackson has the night off. Meteorologist Gary Frank is here with the impact the weather will have on your holiday plans. Gary?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see the rain finally setting out. You can see those clouds starting to at least separate just a little bit after it was a rainy time when Scott was outside lighting up Tillis Park earlier. Right now, as we continue to look at that, things are drying out just a little bit. Now, oftentimes when the rain ends and it starts to get colder, we wonder, are things going to refreeze? Well, not necessarily. I think we're still going to hold pretty steady here. You'll notice we're at 41 in St. Louis, even in other spots that are colder in Missouri, 33 in Kirksville. I don't expect that we're going to see that issue into the overnight hours because of the cloud cover, as we even look at 40 in Creve Coeur. Some spots still holding steady above freezing. That's a big key. I know there's a lot of people out, and if you're a concerned parent wondering if your kid's coming home from a late night out for Thanksgiving, well, I'll tell you what right now, we're not going to see those temps drop a bunch. Things will dry up before things even get closer to freezing. The clouds are going to act as an insulator. There's still a few showers here, still hanging around here at this hour, and we'll look at a couple of showers in downtown St. Louis, in DuQuoin, Mount Vernon, as well as Rolla, Cuba, and up 44. Most of those will continue to filter out over the next several hours. And notice, we still clear out by daybreak. Things are dry and still above freezing. I don't expect any issues there, but our weather impact into the holiday, it's much cooler tomorrow for the actual holiday, but dry. We have some serious cold plus a snow chance, and that's what we'll highlight as we head into the extended weekend and time those details out shortly.
Tonight, tributes and condolences are pouring in after 16-year-old Colin Brown passed away this morning. The CBC junior was hit by a stray bullet on Interstate 55 Saturday night. 5 on Your Side's Justina Coronel reports on the search for Brown's shooter and how the community continues to rally around the team's family.
This type of violence is not going to be tolerated by us.
A commitment to try and find the culprit who killed Colin Brown. The 16-year-old CBC student just left a hockey game with his dad Saturday night. The two were in the car riding home on Interstate 55 in St. Louis when police say a stray bullet struck the teen.
Colin, a beloved and talented hockey player, passed away, but not before giving the ultimate gift of life. Earlier today, Colin's organs were donated to other patients who are in desperate need. I have no doubt that our detectives are being re-energized by Colin's last sacrifice. And we are not going to stop until we know that whoever pulled that trigger, or trigger pullers, because we're still looking at that evidence, to make sure that they're held accountable.
St. Louis police spokesperson Mitch McCoy said they're counting on the community.
We have received tips. We know that there is new video that we did not have Monday that we have now that the detectives are reviewing.
Detectives continue to collect evidence and the community collects funds.
I don't think there's anything better than a youth hockey organization. It's just like one big family.
A family that's needed more than ever. Rick Metzing, owner of Bar Down in South St. Louis County, opens his hockey bar this weekend for a big fundraiser.
The entire youth hockey organization started reaching out and saying, hey, Rick, we want to volunteer. We have some of our local vendors donating food.
Coming together to show their commitment to Colin.
Whether it's a prayer, whether it's a donation, whether you come in and have lunch that day, I know the Colin Brown family greatly appreciates everything.
Justina Cornell, 5 on Your Side.
The fundraiser for the Brown family has already raised more than $72,000. If you'd like to donate, we have a link in the As Seen on TV section on KSDK.com. And police are urging other drivers in the area of the shooting or anyone with information to contact them. You can also call Crime Stoppers at 1-866-371-TIPS. Tonight, as our community mourns the loss of Colin Brown, one of the people who knew him best is sharing memories of a young man who made an impact far beyond the hockey rink.
For CBC hockey coach Ryan Trends, the past few days have been filled with an outpouring of emotion as he remembers a player who embodied everything his program stands for.
Mostly sad, you know, to lose anyone, especially someone like Colin, you know, a 16-year-old who's done nothing wrong.
Trends first met Colin 3 years ago and quickly learned what kind of player and person he was, like his competitive nature, even with a teammate in the gym doing the bench press.
They went back and forth, and they would add more weight, then they'd both go again, and you know, just pushing each other.
That competitive spirit was matched by his character, a natural leader who led by example.
He was extremely coachable. He came every day, and you didn't have to guess at what he was going to bring. You knew he was going to bring 100%.
As the CBC community comes together, their chapel was filled Monday morning for an optional prayer service, a testament to Colin's impact.
He's everything, you know, embodies everything that we stand for and we like to stand for. You know, as a human and as a hockey player, he's just an outstanding kid.
Now, as teammates gather to remember their friend, they're finding strength in each other and support from the entire St. Louis hockey community.
I know that there's been a lot of prayer and love sent the Browns' way, and you know, they appreciate that and they feel that. So again, there's not enough thanks to go around for everyone.
A community united in grief, remembering a young man who will forever be part of the CBC brotherhood.
And Colin's legacy lives on not only through his CBC family, but through the lives he continues to touch as an organ donor. Tonight, the St. Louis Blues paid tribute to Brown during their game in New Jersey. The entire coaching staff wore 72 strong buttons in honor of Colin. That's the number he wore while playing with the African Americans Hockey Club. Blues head coach Jim Montgomery says the team will continue to support Brown's family.
It's a horrible and tragic situation, and the hockey community in the city of St. Louis rallies around these kind of events, and they have our full support, and the Brown family is not alone.
The team plans to honor Brown during Saturday's home game. All proceeds from a 50-50 raffle that night will go towards supporting his family. Missouri Governor-elect Mike Keogh says he's devastated to hear of Colin Brown's passing. In a post on X, he says, quote, "The lawlessness plaguing St. Louis must stop, and the criminal responsible for this tragedy must be held accountable." Mayor Tashara Jones released a statement today saying, quote, "The great officers of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department will continue to do all they can to find who is responsible for this senseless and reckless act of violence and hold them accountable to the fullest extent of the law." You're taking a live look at Enterprise Center, where a St. Louis Thanksgiving Eve tradition just wrapped up about an hour ago. More than 21,000 boxing fans packed the seats for this year's Guns and Hoses event. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend gives us a ringside seat.
Guns and Hoses didn't rip off the roof at Enterprise Center. But on this Thanksgiving Eve, the long-awaited tradition attracted a huge and rowdy crowd of all ages.
How excited are you to be here?
Extremely.
Ready to see local police officers, firefighters, and other emergency responders duke it out for a good cause.
Because it's super fun, like to watch.
I mean, the whole charity thing is cool, and I mean, it's entertaining.
For the past 37 years, courageous cops and fearless firefighters who put their lives on the line every day pause for one night only to face off in a series of fights. The blue team and the red team go round and round to raise lots of money for backstoppers.
It's fantastic for us to do this as long as we have.
The committed charity supports the families of fallen or injured first responders. Since 1959, Backstoppers has rallied around 200 area families.
And what keeps it going is our community. I mean, we have a very generous community here who they love their first responders.
St. Louis police officer David Lee was among the men in blue honored on this special night. In September, the 44-year-old officer, husband and father, was killed while putting down flares at the scene of a car crash that injured an off-duty Ferguson firefighter.
That's pretty cool. It's nice to see.
A St. Louis tradition forever strong for its frontline heroes and canine cops who sacrificed their lives serving their community. Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
In the past few years, Backstoppers has raised $3 million to support the families of first responders who lost their lives or suffered a catastrophic injury in the line of duty. Well, if you've forgotten a crucial ingredient for tomorrow's Thanksgiving feast, don't panic. There are plenty of stores open on the holiday. All locations at Fresh Time Market will be open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Local Harvest grocery locations will also be open. That's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hours will vary at Save-A-Lot and Whole Foods. Most other stores will be closed. Then most big box stores will reopen bright and early for Black Friday. Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Macy's, and Lowe's will open at 6 a.m. for shoppers. Kohl's will open at 5 a.m. and Costco a little later at 9 a.m. For a full list of where you can shop on Thanksgiving and Black Friday, just text the word OPEN to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link. Your weekend begins with Black Friday and ends with Cyber Monday. But what if the gift you give or receive doesn't work out? One 5 on Your Side viewer asked our Ann Allred if she'll have extra time this year to make a return. Let's verify.
A 5 on Your Side viewer asked the Verify team, are major retailers like Amazon, Target, and Walmart extending their return policy this holiday season? Our sources, spokespersons at Target and Walmart, and Amazon's online return policy. Let's start with Amazon. And yes, the online behemoth extended holiday returns. Most items purchased between November 1st and December 31st can be returned through January 31st unless it's an Apple product. Those must be returned by January 15th. Let's talk about Target next. Target's usual 90-day return window for most unused items remains in place. But things are different when it comes to electronics, and they have extended their return window. If you purchase between November 7th and December 24th, your return window will begin on December 26th. If you bought cell phones, Apple, or Beats products, the return window is 14 days from December 26th to January 8th. All the other electronics will get a 30-day return period between December 26th and January 24th. Lastly, Walmart. The retailer is extending holiday returns as well for most items until January 31st. Exceptions to this are cell phones, major appliances, protection plans, and most marketplace items. We can verify, yes, retail giants Amazon, Target, and Walmart are offering extended holiday return policies. I'm Ann Allred, 5 on Your Side.
The Verify team has more information on return policies at Kohl's, Best Buy, and JCPenney, and we have that information posted on KSDK.com under the Verify tab. A small-town Illinois florist decking the halls for the president.
I read it twice, and then I'm like, wow!
Her journey from the greenhouse to the White House.
What perfect opportunity to decorate the nation's home.
After we get system number 1 out of our system, we'll see colder air and we look to Alaska, Canada, and even Alberta for our next system. And it doesn't look like much right now, but that's what's tracking for Saturday. It's snow impacts and how cold it's going to be as we head into the weekend.
It takes hundreds of volunteers to help decorate the White House for the holidays. A small-town florist from Illinois is in Washington right now. We caught up with her before she left to hear more about this unique opportunity. Here's Kay Quinn.
In the small town of New Baden, Illinois, Honor Florists and Greenhouses is busy preparing for the holiday season.
Those turned out darling.
From classes to private home decorating,
We're kind of a destination.
Honors is known for its home holiday decor.
Ta-da!
And this Christmas, Dawn Honor is gifting her skills to her most prominent home yet.
I've been chosen to be a volunteer to decorate the White House for this Christmas season.
Every year, thousands apply, hoping for that confirmation email.
I click on that and it says, hello, congratulations. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. So I read it twice and then I'm like, wow!
The moment Honor has been waiting for.
I applied for 4 years, and so this was my lucky year to be selected.
Holiday decorating inside the White House goes back to the 1800s. The first Christmas tree was put up in the White House when Benjamin Harrison was president. And every year since the 1950s, the First Lady has taken on the big task of bringing in volunteers to help with the decorations.
To decorate something as iconic as the White House, if you think about all the leaders and the dignitaries and the Christmas tree alone. Just the symbol of our White House and be able to do something at this magnitude.
An achievement adding to the honor's long-lasting legacy.
We date back from 1850. We have a younger son that will be coming and joining us, and he'll be the 6th generation here in a few years. So it makes us very proud.
Are you still open?
Yeah, go.
And for honor, business is all about growth and staying planted.
We're a small town atmosphere. We feel it's just so important to have our roots here and to be part of our community. There's so much pride in that, and I just believe that since we're a close family, it works even better for us.
From the greenhouse to the White House.
I'm just really anxious to get there.
For Dawn, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is a true honor. Kay Quinn, 5 on your side.
We are just hours away from the 98th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and tonight onlookers got to watch the inflation of the 17 giant character balloons. There will also be 22 floats, 11 marching bands, and 700 clowns. And keep an eye out for a Lindbergh High School student who will be marching on the streets of Manhattan tomorrow. Sarah Bailey was selected to be a member of the Color Guard in the Great American Marching Band. She had to go through a long process, an audition process, to earn the spot. You can watch the parade right here on 5 on Your Side tomorrow morning beginning at 8:30.
3, 2, 1, go! Look at that.
Saw it right here on 5 on Your Side earlier tonight. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell was there as they flipped the switch on the holiday lights at Winter Wonderland in Tillis Park. The display at McKnight and Litzinger is open nightly through December 30th. And for a full list of holiday shows and lights around St. Louis, just text the word lights to 314-425-5355 and we'll send it right to your phone. Meteorologist Gary Frank rejoins us now with that weather impact forecast. And Gary says if you're headed to a parade tomorrow or headed out to see the Christmas lights, you're going to want to bundle up. Right,
yeah,
Gary?
going to be a little more chilly as we continue to work our way into those colder mornings, especially the next 2 mornings right now. And it's hard to believe after some wet roadways as you continue to look at that. And that's what Scott, had the umbrella up earlier. Not so much now. Still talking about the colder air that's filtering in behind it. You'll notice these mid-20s. This is not a dramatic shift, but I think some of these numbers like 29 in Omaha, 32 in Lincoln, we look to that for maybe what we could see the very lowest tomorrow morning in some of our region. Right now we're still at 41, so those wet roadways remain just wet as our precipitation ends as we show you. The big picture is that rain that stayed really north of 70, especially in our area for quite a while, has continued to push out. That was why this was such a big point of contention as we track the storm for you days upon days upon days is, well, will it impact us in terms of rain or snow in the region? And the reason for it is this main system, the driving force of this, moved a little further south, kept it out of that colder air, and then that's why we didn't see any snow in the region. Safer for us to travel, especially right now. We have some light rain that is tapering off in general. And I think our main weather impact overnight, watch how these temperatures remain above freezing, especially as all the roadways start to dry up. Still, by 4 a.m., we'll pause it here because I think we'll see our very bottom tomorrow morning. Like I mentioned, upper 20s, rain ending, mid-30s in the city. It'll be chilly, there's no doubt about it. And you'll notice as the wind picks up out of the northwest, it'll be chilly as we start off around freezing, and then it's crisp, 37 up to 41. It's a good day to stay inside. You're looking at around 10 degrees or so below normal in the afternoon. So it's a chilly Thanksgiving. So now let's talk about the system that provides us with more of a shot of colder air and also a shot of frozen precipitation perhaps. We look in Alaska, and I mentioned this, and you see a series of these disturbances so often, but they're quick moving systems that deliver right there. And that's what we're looking at near Calgary right now. That's a quick moving system. It's where does that move? Is it still quite a ways away? Let's see what we can find out, because I think the first part of Saturday, you're going to start out dry. You have an early flight or you're driving, you're going to be in good shape. But if you're driving to that Mizzou game, I think, or driving back from the Chiefs game, I think you're going to deal with some snow here on 70. Notice how it picks back up. It's a matter of where does the axis of this heavier snow shift. I think this is brief, but it is going to accumulate in some fashion. Right now, the potential wintry weather as we continue to keep you posted. Timing and temp in question. If we can see that in the afternoon, there will be less impacts earlier. When it's colder, that storm track may change. It's a ways away. And do the roads get cold? It's been obviously very warm, but with temperatures cold for a couple of days, we'll see how things go. I do expect that over the next several days, we'll continue to look at temps on the colder side as we monitor a weather impact day, perhaps on Saturday. And then eventually it is going to be cold. Temps in the teens for the first time in a while as we melt off that little bit of a dusting of snow.
Yeah, if we get snow, it'll be a little snow.
Yeah, it'll be, everybody's going to freak out because it's the first one we've had in a while. It's been so warm. So.
All right, Gary, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, this was one wild night in sports, an historical one for a member of the Blues, and an awfully lucky one for the Billikens. That was a finish to remember.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
I'm not going to say before this week the Blues were the most boring team in North America, but I did turn the channel once during a game to watch a Golden Girls rerun. Not anymore. To paraphrase Frank Costanza, they're back, baby. The Devils have the best record in the Eastern Conference. Pavel Buchnevich dishes to Robert Thomas, and the Blues led it 1-0 just 9 seconds in. About 7 minutes later, the Blues just off the power play, and Edmonton import Dylan Holloway makes it a 2-0 game. They couldn't lead the Devils 3-0 in the first period, or could they? Colton Parayko shoots it. Holloway will finish it. Are you serious? 3-0 note. Here's the miracle worker, new coach Jim Montgomery. Booch had a lower body injury in the second, didn't return. The story, Jordan Binnington, 31 saves. He breaks the record for most wins in 152, 16th shutout, and the Blues win at 3-0.
It's nice just to get it, and something to accomplish something like that. But yeah, it's just a matter of being here long enough to get those wins and compound those wins over time. So yeah, I'm proud to be here, and I'm proud to have that many wins.
If I were SLU coach Josh Schertz, on the way home from this game, I would buy a lottery ticket, because after this one against UMass Lowell, he's officially the most fortunate coach in the country. You won't believe this, folks. First half was the Gibson-Jimerson show, off body, off glass, got it. Jimerson had 24 points in the first half and 24 points for the game. You want to know why Robbie Avila is compared to Jokic? Because he can pass like that. Backdoor to Isaiah Swope, who had 24. After trailing by 21, UMass Lowell cut it to 1. Avila reverse slew up 3. He had 23 points. But in the dying moments, Quincy Clark hits a remarkable 3 to tie the game, right? No, his foot was on the line. They're still down 1. SLU hit 2 free throws. UMass Lowell has one last crack, and Yuri Covington somehow gets it to fall. But it was just after the buzzer. SLU escapes 93-90.
Thankfully, I'm bald, but it did take years off my life. I told the guys in there, 27 years I've coached. The last 4 minutes was as good as I've ever seen. Shot making, the degree of difficulty was unbelievable.
Mizzou hosted Lindenwood. First half, look in the key area. Caleb Grill is hit in the head by the forearm of Jalen McDaniel. It's a head and neck injury. He was responsive and taken to the hospital. Lindenwood stayed close for a while, then Jacob Cruz will drill a 3, and Aiden Shaw rammed home a putback, and the Tigers were off and running. Second half, Trent Pierce backdoor in a jam. Mizzou rolls 81-61. 5 on your sideline will be rocking this weekend. East St. Louis and Althoff will try to win state titles, and DeSmet, Lafayette, MICDS, Festus, Lutheran North, and Lift for Life try to get to the state championship game. And don't forget about the Pioneers of Kirkwood and that explosive offense. They've only lost 2 games all season long by a combined 6 points. They will play undefeated Nixa on the road. The Kirkwood coach is former Pro Bowler and Kirkwood and Mizzou star Jeremy Macklin.
I think it means a lot, to everybody. I think, just the community in general, gives another opportunity for everybody to come together and kind of experience and kind of celebrate the football team. It's our first Final Four run since 2016. It's our first district title since 2016. So there's a lot of excitement right now inside the building, but also in the community. And then this week, you double that up with Turkey Day, man. It's a lot going on, but it's a really cool time to be a Pioneer.
They say that great players normally don't make great coaches. He is doing an unbelievable job.
He's the exception.
Yep.
All right, Frank, thanks. Well, Christmas is exactly 4 weeks from today, and 5 on Your Side is once again partnering with the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition for Little Wishes. To buy a gift for a child in foster care this season, go to ksdk.com/littlewishes. And we'll be right back. Thanksgiving tomorrow. Gary has a final check of the weather impact forecast.
It's going to be colder tomorrow, but I think we'll have little issues travel-wise tomorrow, just if you're just doing a day trip kind of thing. Friday, it's colder. There's no doubt about that. But Saturday, I think, is the one thing that we'll have to watch out for if you're heading back Saturday. This is brief, but I think as far as temperatures go, we should stay above freezing in the afternoon. There will be some light snow, and I think something to Frank and Corey's point, driving across to 70 to go to the Mizzou game. We might get a snow football game at Mizzou, and I don't remember the last time that happened. It's been a while.
Been a while.
So there's going to be some snow going on. It's not going to look like the last Thursday night football game, but it's going to be something.
And there you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. We give thanks that you're watching, and here's wishing you and your